Toldson. A reason to dream again. A reason to dream again, Toldson.
Hello. Congratulations, your speaker proposal has just been accepted. We will see you in Nairobi, Kenya. Excitement surged through my body like lightning. I broke into a song and danced. I'm going to Africa. I'm going to Africa. Have you ever given up on a dream only to realize that you just needed a reason to live again? Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, contest chair. In 2021, I rushed into my brother Calvin's room. I said, Calvin, guess what? His face lit up. He said, you're going to pay me back that loan? I said, no, I'm going to Africa. Calvin dreamed of going to Africa his entire life. As a little boy, he would roar like a lion. Roar! I'm king of the jungle! He roared at school one day. During class, the teacher was not so happy. My brother looked at me and he whispered, he said, Don, when you go to Africa, take me with you. In my excitement, I said, yes, I will take you with me. But there was a problem. At 47 years old, my brother Calvin had a stroke that left him paralyzed on the left side of his body. He was confined to his bed, stripped of hope. He had lost his will to live. However, I told him that I would take him with me. Later that evening, as I was driving home, my joy turned to anguish. Tears were streaming down my face. I prayed. I said, God, without you working a miracle in Calvin's life, his dream would never happen. That's when it hit me. Calvin didn't just need hope. He needed a reason to dream again. Do you need a reason to dream again? The following morning, I went to visit my brother Calvin. And when I opened the door to his room, I witnessed a miracle. He was sitting on the side of the bed with his sneakers on. My brother, he looked at me and he said, Don, bring me my walker. I rushed and I brought him his walker. And with his right hand, he placed it on the walker. And with his left foot, he pressed and he took a step and another step. He smiled at me and said, we're going to Africa. On August 28, 2021, I received a phone call from my mom at 6 a.m. in the morning. And she was crying. She said, Don, your brother Calvin has transitioned. I said, Mom, do you mean my brother Calvin has died? She said, yes. I was devastated. I called the coordinator and said, I'm sorry, I can't go. I went to bed that night, and I woke up a few hours later, engulfed in tears and in a fetal position. That's when the words of my brother resonated with me. Take me with you to Africa. I called the coordinator the next morning and I said, I changed my mind. I want to go. I must go. He said, what changed your mind? I said, I found a reason to dream again. Two months later, while en route to Nairobi, Kenya, the captain came on the intercom and he said, fasten your seatbelt. We will be landing in 15 minutes. Excitement surged through my body like lightning. I broke into a song and dance. I'm in Africa. I'm in Africa. The stewardess came over. She said, yes, sir, you're in Africa. But can you please put your seatbelt on? I reached under the seat and I pulled out a bag with my brother Calvin's old sneakers on. These were the same shoes that my brother Calvin wore when he took his first steps after his stroke. It was a defining moment for me because I wanted the first souls to touch the soil of Africa to be his. Not only his S-O-L-E, but his S-O-U-L. And as the doors to the airplane opened, I looked down at the railing and I grabbed a hold of it and I took a step and another step. I looked up and I said, Calvin, we made it. And as I stood there with the red soil of Africa beneath my feet and with Calvin's shoes on, I realized something so profound, that a dream fulfilled is never about just one person. Dream, they transcends time, space, and even death. And though Calvin's dream began as a little boy, roaring like a lion, roar, I'm king of the jungle, now roared louder than ever through me. And at that moment, I didn't just feel his presence, I felt his hope. I felt his joy. And I felt his determination. And with every step I took on that sacred ground, I could hear my brother voice saying, thank you for fulfilling my dreams. Fellow Toastmasters, now I ask you, what's your reason to dream again? Mr. Contest Chair.